I guess I held a vulnerability, and I feared vulnerability. I tried very hard to be perfect. Through my old stories, I felt very unsafe with being wild. Through my experiences of living with wild parents, it made me feel like I had to barrier myself against wildness and against magic. And I've learned that I'm safe to be wild, safe to be magic, safe to express it. To begin with, I didn't know I was looking for a soul guide. And I gradually became aware that all I was doing, although I wanted to help people, was feeding a need. And so that, they were happy for 5 minutes and I'm not happy. And I want to be able to touch their souls. And as that realization formed in my mind, or not in my mind, in my direction, then I came across Nicole's picture. I knew I needed to heal myself because it's been very important to me. Working with Nicole was a way of going into deep, dark places in myself and loving that to my wholeness. And I didn't actually know that I needed that. I didn't know it was something that existed. So it's all been quite magical because I've just allowed it to flow through me. I don't know. It didn't come from logic. Of course, money and time. Everyone gets what they put into it, out of it, I feel. And it felt quite hard work at times because I was having to go into places and I kept feeling like, surely I've healed that. And then there again, it would be in a different time in my life. It becomes a very personal, I will use the word tangible, although you're not holding it, you directly connect to the energy of the remedies. I've not been trained in homeopathy, but I can see the way that the remedies are talking about people rather than an inanimate object or disease. It's about a person and how they've become clouded. And so I'm able to heal myself. It's very powerful. I think they provide a connection in my mind. If something feels out of alignment, I can go straight to that remedy. The name of the remedy will just come up into my mind and I'll just be like, oh yeah, okay. And then I can go in, because we express our unique feeling, our unique experience of that remedy. It's not Nicole's that we express, it's our own. So that's what makes it so powerful. It's not something out of a textbook. This is from our own deep seeing and knowing. And so if something feels wrong, I have a way of working through that and softening my judgment or opinion of myself. And it's very heart-led and very heart-warming. I particularly love the women that I've met through this journey, and so there's a whole network of women healers and who are not healing in the traditional way. They're expressing something much deeper, much older. It's an ancestral calling that they've had, which I feel is what mine is. So that's been amazing. Able to ground, and I'm able, if I feel anxiety, I can just go into it, which is something I'd not really understood before. Instead of numbing myself, I can release and talk to myself. Actually, so much of what we do is about talking with ourselves, hearing ourselves, allowing ourselves, freeing ourselves, loving ourselves, which are all things you're told to do until you've gone into your old stories and really seen yourself. I couldn't, and now I do. So I never would have ever dreamt that I was here to be a wise woman. But the more I express this into the world, the more I hear people come back to me and say, this is what we need. So that's where my wisdom will weave stories for them. I love the crone. She is an expression of ourselves when we're living fully, when we're clear about our purpose. She's not frightening unless you're unwilling to step through the portal. We're not taught that. We're not finding my own unique archetypal way of being in this world. So we all have our own unique remedy personality, and actually seeing myself in there was very powerful. Throughout history, my ancestors have not managed to live. They've not. Some of them have lived their truth, but a lot of them have been persecuted and shut down. And I feel my ancestors are, I use the word rejoicing, but they're rejoicing that I've found the way to let everything out, to let the healing flow, that they've died not being able to. I thought I'd always be seeking my purpose. I know I'm now living my purpose, so that's a massive milestone. My posts on Facebook have built up into a beautiful collection, and I can feel the healing that happens when people read that work. It's not work, but I'm just expressing my soul. We're starting to build the framework for my own magical offering to the world in a more, well, it's going to be very beautiful, but very powerful, and I would never have dared to have dreamt that I could do it. I am doing it. So although it's not there yet, it's crystallizing. So that is something I've learned, that I can just hold myself, which is something I didn't understand before. I can hold myself. I feel the burning, and then it may move to a different part of my body after that has released, and then a story will pop into my mind, and I can go into that story and hear it, witness it, and love it, and release it, or love it back into myself, and just and see how my little girl has actually been hardened to not feel pain, and I can help her let go of that hardness. So my skin clearing is definitely tangible. Silica has really, I've dropped my need to be in logic and softened, and the clearer I am, the more I've expressed my soul, the skin has cleared up. The main benefits of working with Nicole have been, for me, someone who has held me whilst I've actually gone through an awakening of my soul purpose. I really don't think anyone else has done that. taken us a long time, and her holding me whilst I was going through very raw seeings enabled me to feel safe. I've been guided, a focused beam of love basically, so I can relax because I know that I'm safe. My experience of working with Nicole overall is that she can see my truth before I can see it myself quite often, but it's not that she imposes my truth onto me, it's that she leads me to see it myself and then to trust what I'm seeing. My advice to anyone who is considering hiring Nicole is that this that we're looking at is not logical. It's not logical. You're going into your deepest and youngest self, and you're removing all those layers of hurt, because we are very sensitive women. We've absorbed a lot of judgments and opinions, and you're going to be looking at all of that. It's not all, as it's been said, eating chocolates and prancing around the fire. There's deep, dark work to do, which releases so much beauty and clarity, but it's not logical. And you will be doing it yourself. It's been incredible. I've reached the point where I can now distill my own remedy that will pop into my mind when I'm feeling something. Now I've started to create a way of expressing this in my healing into the world. I see how a lot of the facets that I've looked at with Nicole actually slot into place now. It's amazing.